I'm not going to just move out of my space because we broke up. I'm not just going to give back my Mercedes because it didn't work out.
Relationship Insight for Men. I'm going to be leaving my comment for the end of the video. And if you guys do enjoy, please like and subscribe. Let's get into the video.
How old are you?
28.
28. So, saw
28.
this. I saw the skit, but how did we get to the point to where? Tell everybody about the lead up because in the first part you were saying that you guys had been together for how many years?
We were gonna be. It was like 4.5, 5 years.
All right. So from what I'm hearing, what I thought I heard is you kind of held him down, or you helped him get started in business, or something like that. Tell the beginning part of the story. Do that so everybody can get kind of caught up. I'll let you tell it.
So yeah, that was the part that didn't go viral, and that probably most of the people did not see. Obviously, when I first got with this person, they were already established. They already had the mentality to be where they were going. They already had been making six figures on the low end. They already had owned a couple spaces. They own like clubs and stuff in the city. So they already had these things. When I got with them, they had, entrepreneurs go through ups and downs. So they had went through they're down in that moment when I first met the person. The first 2 years of my relationship with this person, I didn't get nothing. I got lunch and dinner and little shopping things here and there, like H&M, like nothing too crazy. But I was helping this person do the back end for no money. Like I wasn't getting paid, do the back end of their business. I got them an investment in which they didn't even have to pay back. It was more like of a barter. So they got the cash for then the person then just wanted to use the space. So they didn't even really have to put in work to pay back in cash, So I did all that. We were very close friends. And then our relationship came to we stayed friends. We talked every single day, and it dwindled down into we weren't fucking no more. We weren't doing those type of things anymore. And we were fine with it. And then eventually I started talking to people, and he would talk to people, and we would tell each other we were friends, So when he got me the apartment and the car, we were already friends, and we were already in a space where things weren't that for about 5 months. Probably it was about 5 months when he got me that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this sounds crazy. This sounds wild to me because what I'm hearing is a relationship where you and your, let's give him a name. Call him Carl. Would that be all right?
Yeah, that's cool.
All right. So you and Carl are together. Carl wasn't broke. He had a job. He had businesses. He had things going on. He may have been in more of a valley point in his business, but he obviously wasn't broke and he wasn't homeless.
Right.
Y'all start dating, and you brought your skill sets to the relationship, kind of like everybody does. And you guys helped him. And would it be fair to say did he help you in any way, in any parts of your professional career?
Yes, for sure. I mean, in regards to my backstory, he was a positive, one of the first positive people that I ever had in my life that kind of pushed me forward, believed in me, gave me positive affirmation, that kind of vibe. And
Okay.
anything and everything that I want to do. Huh?
I'm listening. I think there's a slight delay, so I'm just waiting.
Thing that I wanted to do, in regards to my career, a lot of my skits were shaking ass, and I used to work on Instagram maybe 2-3 years. He was all for it, whatever it was, whatever makes you happy,
Okay.
So for sure.
So you guys helped each other in the relationship. You had connections and things like that. You did back office things, but where it seems to kind of go off the rails is the relationship. And now you're single. You have a child, right?
Yes.
Was it before this relationship or after? Or during?
Yes, my child is a little grown. He's grown.
Okay. All right. So you guys had your relationship, your boyfriend and girlfriend, whatever we want to call it. It went through the normal cycle. And then towards the end, the things you had done to help him help his business increase or improve, as far as what I'm hearing you say. But you guys were friends, but you were living together still, right? Or were you not living together?
never lived together. The topic of the show was, would you give your ex back a gift? So we never
Right,
lived
right.
together. He had his
So
own
how
separate,
so,
had
so
gotten a
how'd you get
place.
the upgrade? So as you guys were friends, and then he upgraded you to a loft and a Mercedes, right?
Well, the Benz came a little bit before the breakup, but the apartment and stuff. But he kept paying
Okay.
after, like, we're talking to
Okay.
different people,
All
paying
right.
forward.
So I want to read something real quick because I thought I heard you say it. And this is kind of what I heard in the one of the clips. It said something. I'm not going to just move out of my space because we broke up. I'm not just going to give back my Mercedes because it didn't work out. If he had wanted them back, would you have, if he had wanted the car back, would you have given it back to him?
No, so I'm glad that wasn't the case. That wasn't the case with my situation. But if he wanted it, no, I would not have given it back. I would have been like, you have to wait till the lease term is up, and when that is up, then everything is over. But you gave
Was
this
it
to
was
me
the
as,
car in it? Was the car was the lease in his name?
yes.
Uh, and same thing goes for the loft. If he had wanted the loft back, would you have given it up?
No.
Is the loft in his name?
Yes.
How would you have stopped that?
I was not gonna go anywhere. Like, period. I don't know. You're gonna have to figure it out. Obviously, this is the ugly side of me, and so I'm grateful that didn't happen between us. But
Well,
yeah,
I'm just saying legally. I'm not passing a judgment either way. I'm just kind of curious as to the mindset. It's like because see, I often hear women say this kind of stuff after an engagement breaks up. They don't feel like they should give back the engagement ring.
no,
But legally, it's a gift given in the contemplation of a marriage. It's a conditional gift. Legally, you can't keep it. You're not legally required. So in your case, it sounds as though he didn't ask, but you're saying if he asked, you would have fought him for it.
of course.
Oh,
At
really?
least,
Oh, okay.
at least the first like 3 to 6 months. I feel obviously he didn't fight for it, but if he was, I would have been like, no, you got to give me time. Like, not from one day to the next, I'm gonna not have anything. You know what I mean? And
Well, I
a
guess
lot of people are saying,
what I'm saying is, if he just said, "Hey, I want this space back," and I want to be clear, you're saying you wouldn't have given it up under any conditions, or you would have said, "I need 30, 60 days to move out."
I would have needed more than 60 days. He would have had to wait until I was well and able. But I feel like I would have been fair. And 3 months is expected, and I feel like 6 months is like really you're being
Expected by whom?
by me. And
And
I
you
feel
t-
like just a proper to do as a man of like high caliber. You know what I mean?
So this is why I think where you get into some of the pushback because, you're saying that you guys are cool and this and that, but if you had the money or the resources to afford the apartment or the car and we were able to put it in your name and your credit, then you could have gotten it. Because I heard what you say, he increased my lifestyle. And I heard the people say, yeah, but that was while you were together. But after you're together, you still want this elevated lifestyle. And it's now you are sounding entitled. Because if he'd have wanted it back, you said I wouldn't have given it back and it would have been wrong for him to ask. Let me reframe that. If he wanted to have sex with you, would you be wrong to say no after you broke up?
Would I be wrong? Would
Yeah.
I be wrong? No?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't give him my pussy as a gift. I didn't say, here's my pussy for doing so much.
Let's do me a favor. Let's keep the language kind of PG, okay?
I don't know how you want me to say, but I didn't have sex with gift. You know what I mean? It wasn't a gift.
But I'm not saying you did.
Okay,
hold up. I'm not saying you did. I'm just asking you to put yourself in another situation. You're saying that, that would have been the right thing to do. So I'm saying, well, let's flip the script. Let's change the positions. If he would have said, you know what? I wasn't used to having such good sex. You rocked my world. You changed everything about me. And until I can get somebody who's as good or better than you, it's only right that you allow me access to your body when I want it, at least for the next 6 months. How does that sound?
No, that's ridiculous to me.
Well, but I need you to understand that's how so many people are hearing what you're saying.
No, I feel like it's different. Okay, ready? Like, if let's say you and I were together, right? Mm-hmm. And we were together 5 years, and for them 5 years I catered to you. Like, whatever you needed, I assisted, I did errands, I helped, I did this, I did that. And yes, I focused on myself, but those things weren't building the revenue that would potentially pay for the things that you could afford, like my apartment, which is $4,000, and my car and my thing, which is, $1,500. So total, that's $5,500 a month. And not to say that I'm not making that money, but I'm not making that money. You know what I mean? So I feel like from you should give me a period of 3 to 6 months to get my shit together, to get my little, whatever I can afford, be it a Hyundai or my little 1-bedroom apartment in the Bronx somewhere. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Whatever that is, that it should be ripped away from you.
Okay. So let me reframe what you just said. If
Okay.
you went to work for a company and you gave them 5 years, and in that 5 years, they benefited from your creativity, from your ingenuity, they increased their profits.
Mm-hmm.
All these things happen. You gave them your blood, sweat, and tears. And the employment terminated for any reason, you could not continue to expect to be paid for 6 months. You would cut off at the last day of your employment. You could not go back to that office. You could not use the computer. Listen. I need you to listen. I need you to listen. I didn't cut you off. You couldn't use the company car, the company credit card. It would end, and you couldn't say, "Well, you guys owe me this because you made so much money." That's not how it works. It's over. Do you accept that? Do you accept that in the work world? No. First off, do you accept that in the work world? That's how it happened.
The reason I don't accept what you're saying is because
in the work world,
unemployment. So because
unemployment is not paid by unemployment is not paid. First off, unemployment is not your full salary. And it's paid through the state, and you have to qualify. If you get terminated for cause, you don't get unemployment.
It's a grace period. If you lose something, you have a grace period.
If you get terminated for cause, you don't get unemployment. Meaning if you were a delinquent employee, if something was wrong, you don't get unemployment. I worked in corporate America. I was a manager and a vice president. I went and studied. I worked closely with HR. Everyone does not get unemployment. You have to listen, you have to work for a certain amount of time to qualify for a certain amount of unemployment, but it's a fraction of what you get. But the bottom line is not even about unemployment. The point is you're still getting the same benefit as if you were in an active relationship when it's over. So when I asked if he could actively have sex with you, that would be ridiculous. It would be no more ridiculous than someone expecting to get full benefit of a company when they've been terminated or where they quit.
May I speak now?
Go ahead.
Hello.
I'm here.
I was no longer getting full benefit. It was just partial, the home and the car. I was not getting my hair, my nails, my trips, my shopping, my whole entire life anymore. It was just whatever left of it that I had because, that was what I was stuck with, the home and the car.
And also, for those who don't, I want to be clear, you were in another relationship while this is going on.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this is why you're getting the pushback, that you're entitled for him to give you a grace period or get on your feet when you're with another man. And this previous man does not have access to you even partially. Does he have partial sexual access to you? If you have partial benefit? Okay, so this is why you're getting the pushback.
Okay, but my whole thing about it was we were friends for just, let's say for them 5 months, right? Where we were established friends, and he was talking to other people and I was chatting with other people, and he was still paying like if it was fine.
But how long did he say he was going to pay? When all this started, how long did he say he was going to pay?
He doesn't have a problem paying it.
But so what I'm saying is, when you were friends, before you started really kicking with anybody else, how long did he say, "I'll put you in this apartment, in this car"?
It was never really talked about. It was just like,
here. Do you ever expect it to end?
At that point, when I first got it, no, I didn't. I didn't think about that part.
Okay, so let me go ahead and be a little ridiculous there. You guys were together 4 or 5 years, right? Mm-hmm. So you didn't think, so you thought what you're saying is this could have gone on for 20 years.
So I just thought as long, I helped him continuously with business, if he had business questions or I just thought that as long as I was there to assist him in those type of things, and things were going well for him, and et cetera, that it would just be what it was. Like, I didn't.
Well, if that's the case, man, but whatever business you were helping him with, was it mission critical to the organization, to mean if you didn't do it, the business was going to fail?
That I didn't say that again.
Was whatever you were helping him with so critical to where if you did not do it, the business would fail?
No, not at all.
All right. So thank you. So whatever you were doing, nice as it was, wasn't critical to the success of the business. So listen. How it's coming across is I'm doing something to get this benefit, and you're not. You're getting a benefit from a relationship that was over, and even though you were friends, you were expecting to go into perpetuity, no end in sight. And if he came to you and said it ends, you would have fought him for it. And you say about being friends. How is that a friend?
Well, I just feel like until the lease term is up, like now the lease term is up next month.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be putting it in my name. The lease for my car is up soon. So I'm going to go get a new car. But
soon meaning how soon meaning how soon? How soon?
Like for with the apartment is next month. The car I got 19 and it was like a 3-year lease, so soon.
So next another year and a half?
Yes, or another year, I think.
Okay. And you currently have and what I heard is you currently had a boyfriend and he's all right with this. And what I think I heard you say was,
no, I have a man. I mean, he's not really okay with it.
But let me finish what I was saying. He said that I kind of had the attitude, we can stack our paper while we got this grace period.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, ma'am, I really wasn't passing any kind of judgment, but I got to ask, as a woman who has a son,
mm-hmm.
They ask you, how would you feel if a woman with your son, you said if he had enough money to take care of it, I'd be cool with it. Does that still stand?
I personally, even though people around me tell me like, oh, don't teach your son that or whatever, I personally always teach my son, like we had a conversation the other day, if you can't afford a girlfriend, you shouldn't have one, even though he's very young, like he wanted to buy her a gift. You don't do anything, you know what I mean? So I want to teach him to be the type of man that I would expect,
Okay.
Not like it's something different. So if my son was to sign a contract for 2 years to put a woman in a car, like I'm getting this gift for you, it's for 2 years, and their relationship doesn't last those 2 years, if she doesn't cheat, call the police on him, do anything to like degrade his character or him and bring him down, I feel like it is his responsibility to stick to that commitment. You made that. You should have never put that woman in that car. You should have never signed.
Okay. That's what I wanted to ask you about. So I want you to pay attention to what I'm about to say.
Mm-hmm.
You said that basically, if he signed it, he should have been able to foresee any potential consequence. Basically, don't sign it if you're not going to live all the way up to it.
A million.
Okay. All right. So if he were to get married, he met a woman and married in 30 days, you still would expect him to pay for it?
You're going to have to take it up with your wife. I'm going to take it up
with your wife. His wife is going to say no. His wife, who's his legal wife, I'm asking. So what I'm saying is basically the way you've constructed this, ma'am, is you're right. First off, you said that as long as she doesn't cheat, this and that, you're going back between friendship and relationship. The way you said it, you guys are friends. So you got a whole relationship and you're kicking it with somebody hard who you say you put above everything else, including this guy. But you're holding this guy to a standard of, you got to still be my friend that you signed this contract on. But you're not being a friend. If he said, I don't want to do this anymore, you said you would fight him.
I would. I don't take that back. I would. I feel like me, even as a woman, if I had, like me and my friends, we trick on each other all the time. Like if I'm in the store, I see something. So me as a woman, if I was a man and I wrote I just feel like it's right. Like it's the correct thing to do. You should never.
It's the correct thing. So basically, hold somebody strictly to the letter of the contract, because he signed the lease for a car. He didn't get the legal lease was between him and the leaseor. You were nowhere in this deal. He just let you use it.
The insurance was under my name. The registration was under my name.
Okay. But the reason the car left the lot is because of his credit and his down payment.
Mm-hmm.
I could register it in a parakeet's name if I want to, and I could put it in a cat's name if I want. What I'm saying is, listen. What I'm saying is, you're saying that he made this agreement, and your agreement sounds as though it's an open-ended agreement that is up to you. How is that fair to a friend?
It is until the lease term is up, because that is what I was.
So till the lease term is up. So that's that's why we keep going. See, that absolves you of accountability and responsibility. But what if he has a girlfriend? What if something happens? What if he just changes his mind? Because due respect, let me flip it. If you decided to say, you know what, I'm good with this. For whatever reason, I'm going to move out of the apartment and I'm going to give you the car back. Do you think he would? I mean, you think he'd say, no, you can't leave. You got to stay and you got to keep this car until the lease term is up. It's your responsibility. How would that sound?
If I no longer wanted it, how would it? I don't know what you mean. I don't.
If
understand.
you no longer wanted it, would you expect him to take the car back and end the lease on the apartment?
And forced me to stay with it?
No.
Sorry,
If you decided hello?
Yeah, I hear you.
If you decided you wanted to just end it, I don't want me and my men are going forward. We're like, we don't want the car anymore. We don't want the lease on the loft. Do you think it would be all right for him to say, no, y'all got to stay there. You need to stay there to the end of the term, and you need to keep this car till the end. Force you to keep it. If you wanted to give it back, would it be all right for him forcing you to try to stay there?
Yeah, but I'm sorry, I'm just confused because I don't get how that would be.
Well, I'm asking you, man, if you wanted to give it back, do you think it would be okay for him to say, I'm not taking it back. You got to keep it.
Sure, I'll keep it. Then I don't know.
But see, my point is, ma'am, that sounds ridiculous. If you wanted to give it up, you could give it up, but he can't give it up. You're in an agreement too. See, everything benefits you. If he made an agreement for the lease term, he has to stick by the lease term. Well, that same agreement holds you. But if you wanted to give it up, you could give it up. Same thing for the apartment or the loft. If you got to stick to the term. But if I wanted to get out of it, I could give it back. This is why people are saying you're entitled.
I just feel like it was a gift. There's levels to, gift giving and the type of gifts. Well,
you can feel like it was a gift, man, but legally you have no leg to stand on. You can feel, I mean, I'm not going to contest your feelings, but legally, what state are you in, by the way?
New York.
You have no leg to stand on. If he wanted that car back, that wouldn't be a doggone thing you could do. He could actually send the sheriff to pick that car up Monday, and you couldn't say a doggone thing.
Long story short, they're going to have to catch. They're going to have to catch me.
No, they don't, because every car, listen, ma'am, every car that has a leak, they have remote kills on these cars. And then today, the unit you're in, you're not on it. You don't even have squatters' rights in New York. You'd be forcibly evicted by the sheriff in 72 hours. Your property would be on the street. They would forcibly come in and remove your stuff. Remember Beyonce's to the left, talk about get your stuff in the box. I'm just letting you know, ma'am, you have no legal leg to stand on. So you saying you'll fight him sounds good to everybody else, but it's a court case, and you have no legal standing. It's not yours.
Thank God it's because they can't kick nobody out until August.
No, ma'am. See, the thing is, they can put you out because you're not a lease. So you're not on the lease. You're effectively you're a guest. See, you have no legal standing.
No. Legally in New York, the person who's on the lease can have like one spouse, one family, and one regular person living there that's not on the lease.
But you're still not. You have no legal. Okay, ma'am, you're misinterpreting the law. You have no more right. No offense, ma'am, than a pet. That would be like saying your cousin could come move into your place, and because of COVID, you couldn't put them out. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. So I think why you're getting pushback, ma'am, is I haven't heard anything in you saying, yeah, I could understand. It's like he has to stick to his word no matter what. And it's an open-ended agreement, all to my benefit. And that is massively entitled. I mean, do you see Do you see anything that that you're not necessarily that you're doing wrong, or that in hindsight would you do this again?
For this long period, like a year time
Mm-hmm.
frame, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, he don't have a problem paying bills, but I do still want to stick up for all girls. Like, let's say I was to get with a football player, you know, or just a millionaire person and stay with them, and this is a skill that I can't learn or help them, so I'm no true benefit to them, you know what I mean, because they have their own talent, their own skill that has nothing to do with me. And I was to live a lifestyle for 4 years, 5 years, and then we broke up for whatever reason, and there was no foul, no harm in between. Yeah, I'm not leaving this house. You're gonna have
You
to,
leave. No, ma'am.
you
No,
know,
ma'am.
give
See,
me
that's where
some
you're
money to get.
wrong. That's where you're wrong. That's where you're wrong. You're leaving. You're leaving because the relationship is over. If there's an engagement ring, you're giving it back, or you're going to end, or you could be sued in small claims court. See, we say a lot of stuff in relationship, but what you're saying is basically what you're saying is if he elevates my lifestyle and he increases the way I'm doing, I don't just get that. I get that like spousal support, like palimony. So basically, what you're telling men is don't ever do anything for a woman that you're not prepared to do until she says stop. So
No, not
don't get upset when men don't want to buy anything, don't do anything, buy a purse, buy a pair of shoes, because once you elevate a woman in a relationship, if all women start thinking like you, then when the relationship is over, then women are legally are thinking men are obligated to maintain that.
no.
All
It's
right,
not
man.
about, not really about maintaining it, because like I said, you know, I wouldn't expect the bags, the shopping, the trips. It was just my home and my car. Those are my basic
Those not. Oh man, see, ma'am, you keep saying it's just. It's not. It's just. You said you can't afford to pay for it, so apparently it's substantial enough that you can't do. Rather, he has a see. What you're doing is you're still spending his money. It's not your money. You got the benefit being in the relationship and the friendship, either or. But if the ships end, it should stop. If the
needs.
relationship or the friendship stops, you're saying I still get it because of all the work I did while I was there. If that's what you want, ma'am, you should have been his wife, not his girlfriend. Then you may have some legal claim. What you're effectively trying to do is get alimony and spousal support for a girlfriend.
Isn't that palimony?
I know, that's why I called it palimony. But that where do you go get palimony in this country? It gets thrown out of court because
Say
you
that
have
again.
no.
What?
Yes, that's the term is called palimony, and it only stands in one state in this country. Most jurisdictions laugh that out. New York being one of them, because you're not giving. See, it would be different, ma'am. It would even be different if you guys had a child together, or I mean, I would just say most people could even see it differently if you didn't have a boyfriend. You got a whole man. It just sounds like you're using the situation, and whether he's okay with it or not, you said this is the right thing to do. Why is this right?
Why is it what? I'm sorry, your
You
phone
said
broke up.
you said the right thing to do. You guys are not together.
Mhm.
Why is what you're doing right?
The phone is breaking up.
Okay.
Why is what? What is the
Why
question?
why is what you're doing right? Why is what you're doing right?
Because I feel like what I'm doing is right, because if we allowed men with money to just take women and bring them to a space and then take it away from them from 1 second to the next, that's toxic. That's like financial abuse. Like, you have to give somebody time to adjust, you know, time. I'm not saying a whole year, I'm not saying forever, but you're not just gonna be out here giving and taking away.
Ma'am, you're not in a relationship.
Pulling up and
You were
then
together for
pulling, you
four.
know, bring.
You were together for 4 years, ma'am. You said you guys are friends for 5 or 6 months. How much time do you need to not to if you're no longer his girlfriend, you should not be getting girlfriend benefits. How long would you need?
I have a question.
Okay,
Though it's like, okay, I get it about.
but how long? Okay, I'll answer your question. But how long would you need before you think it's fair to leave or be done with it?
I think for a man who's of like high, you know, like in that bracket, who can afford it. Obviously, if the person can't afford it or puts a hunch in their life, you don't want to like do that. But I think like 3 months is expected if you were truly in a good relationship with this person. And 6 months is like you're being a really nice guy. Like you're like, you're really,
Okay.
really good. But I
Okay.
feel like 3 months is like, that's fair.
What was your question?
My question is, how about if it's like, so he was doing this as a friend. So how about just like men in society taking on the role to assist women and like separate from friendship or sexual relationships?
No,
Like,
it's
how,
called no. Hold on. Uh, are you equal to a man
equal to a man in regards to?
in any regards?
Well,
Are you an equal citizen?
I'm an equal citizen.
Do you
Yes.
have equal voting rights?
Yes.
Do you have equal protection under the law?
Energetically, I feel men are
No,
stronger.
no, ma'am. You have equal. Okay, but see, what you have is what women fought for: equality and independence.
Yeah, that's good for
You
them. I
so
ain't fight.
no. But see, what you're asking is
I ain't
why.
tell them I wanted that.
Hold on. But the answer specifically to your question is protecting men. I mean, men protecting women without women giving anything. That is an unfair deal. That is why relationships are falling apart, because women asking what you want. Take care of me, but I don't have to do anything for you or even have sex. You want a man to provide for you? It's called a husband. Why didn't you marry him? Why didn't you marry him if you wanted all of these protections? Why didn't you marry him if you wanted all these benefits? That's the way to do it, right?
I don't know. Everybody's different, I
No,
guess.
no. Legally, that's the way to do it. It's called spousal support, alimony. No, not everybody's not differently. Legally, if you want some rights, that's the way to do it.
Mm.
You know that. Do you get child support? Your child, did you get child support for your child?
No.
Okay. But you know what child support is.
Mm-hmm.
And if you wanted, so you could have married the father, you could have done, if you wanted some help. See, my question is, why don't women like yourself do it the normal way?
What's the normal way?
If you want a man to protect you, provide for you, and provision for you, you become his wife.
Mm. But it don't always got to be like that. And it's obvious because I'm proof of that.
Oh, you're proof. You're proof of some things. Proof that this is that no matter what we give to women, it's never good enough, because now you're asking for men of the society to take care of women and get nothing back. Why should men do that?
I don't really feel like getting nothing back. Like,
Well, you said, why should men protect women, do this or that, and then not in exchange for, and then you said something about and not get sex. What were
yeah,
you referring to?
it's non-sexual relationship. Like,
Okay.
let's say
Mm-hmm.
you and I, we're close friends, and you're wealthy, or you're in a space where you're able to assist me, and you feel like I deserve that. So you do it. And I feel like, what's wrong with that?
Because that breaks the social contract. So I should do this for men too?
Men are different.
No. I got friends. We're good friends.
It's
So I
because
should
we
do
look
it for
at things-
friends. No, ma'am.
Oh,
No,
sorry.
no. Listen, ma'am. Way you told the story, set it up, is I'm just rich, so I got enough money, so I should just take care of you as a female. This guy as a male. It just doesn't matter. I take care of everybody because I've got it.
No, I think that it's like I think it's based on like me and you see. Sorry, because I got like stuck real quick. Me and you see things different. So you're like, men and women, they fought for this and they fought for this and they're equal, and that's cool. Yeah, they're equal, but I'm a little bit old school where I do like.
No, old school would be a wife. Old school would be a wife. Old school would be a wife. See, old school women wouldn't do what you do. There's no way in the world.
Yeah,
No, ma'am. Listen, I'm not trying to be insulting, but I need you to listen. You cannot go back and find women 60, 70, 100 years ago who expected men to pay for them when they were in a whole nother relationship with another man.
I get it. It's a little different. But it's my life, so it's just like I can
No,
only speak from
no. See,
what
see, it's your life, but I
and who
find it interesting some of the words you've used earlier. You started kind of trying to use shaming language, like this is toxic, this is abusive. What you have is you have toxic entitlement, and it's the height of what's wrong with the feminist movement and modernist theories. You as a woman feel as though a man, just because he has it and you knew him for a period of time, you're entitled to it because he's got it and he won't miss it. It doesn't matter whether he'll miss it or not. It's not yours. See, ma'am, that's akin to socialism or communism, but it only works one way: men to women, a wealth transfer. And my question is, why don't you? Okay, that's not even close to being logical or reasonable. I do have a couple of questions though. I saw on your Instagram something about the voice of party girls. Only what was it? Are you on OnlyFans?
city girls, pretty girls, hot girls.
Are you on OnlyFans?
Yes, I am.
All right, got a question for you. Um, is that a substantial? Is that a good part of your? Let me just ask this: what do you think about OnlyFans transitioning into mainstream? How do you think that's going to affect your OnlyFans?
Yeah, I'm just gonna figure out another way to hustle it out using OnlyFans. It doesn't necessarily have to be, you know what I mean? I offer more than what it was just the easiest way to get money. But OnlyFans can be, I can use OnlyFans for so many
So the easiest way to get money is that always the
things. You know,
best?
I
Is
have
that
Airbnb businesses.
so?
I can.
So let me ask you a question. It's an easy way to get money, granted, but as a conscientious adult, where does doing the right thing come in?
In regards to OnlyFans?
Well, an easy way to get money, and I'm hearing easy way to get money, and like, and I'm thinking of this situation you have, and it sounds like an easy way to keep a car and a loft versus getting out there and hustle and get it yourself and take care of yourself and have your man take care of you as it should be. I don't
I
think
said
I don't
creative.
think I don't think you I don't think you I think you're defending your point as best as you can, but I really don't think that you believe that this is right. The right way that I don't think you'd want your son doing this.
I think it would be honorable if he did it for 3 months. Like I said, 3 months is, and
Honorable. You keep saying honorable as if a man doesn't. Honorable doesn't mean foolish, man. Where's your
I don't.
honor? Where's your honor as a woman to say this
That,
is not right to take from a man when I'm with another man? Where's your honor as a woman?
I don't know. That's why I'm the voice of the city girls, the pretty girls, and the hot girls. I guess that's where that comes in.
Okay, so are you saying you don't have any honor?
Um, I'm not giving the stuff back. It was a gift. The
Are
question,
you? I'm asking, ma'am. I'm not questioning that. I'm just simply asking you. You mentioned his honor. I'm asking you, where's your honor as a?
I don't know what in regards to. It would be honorable to give the stuff back that was gifted to me.
It wasn't gifted, ma'am. I asked you. You said it would be honorable for a man to do X, Y, Z, and I'm asking you, where does honor come into how where you move as a woman in all things?
When I was loyal to them and I did all the things, that was where the honor came in, and that's why I deserved the things that I received.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's
You deserve
to
those
the
things in
commitment that
perpetuity until you decide they should end. But he can't decide when they end because that would be dishonorable.
I'm sorry, you broke up.
3, 2, 1. You're in. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. All right. Phone charged up?
I'm on the computer now.
All right, cool. Do me a favor. Your head's a little bit cut off, so you might want to. There we go. So I was saying that I think that this is a little unfair. It's a lot unfair. I mean, what do you think? What if women move like you in the dating market? How do you expect the men to act?
To do what?
If women move like yourself in the dating market, meaning don't elevate my lifestyle, don't introduce me to anything new or do anything for me that I'm not already accustomed to, because if this is over, you're going to have to keep me this.
But
How do you think that's going to impact the dating market?
I'm not saying you have to keep me this way forever. I think it's a period.
Okay, how long though?
I feel like
3 months after the relationship ends?
Yes. I would expect 3 months, but I feel like 6 months you're being like you're a really good guy if you were to do 6 months. But 3 months, like something like you have to do this, or make your life hell. I'm kidding.
Make your life hell? You want to make my life hell? I got lawyers and I got knee breakers. I got shit for people like you.
If me and you have no bad why you rather pay lawyers?
No, I got other. I got
Ooh.
people. No, I got other folks that would make sure that you wouldn't make my life hell.
And I got them folks too.
But see, that's the point. We don't need to go to that. You just make sure that you go do what you gotta do, and I do what I gotta do, because it ain't that. See, that's not healthy. But when you decide to try to go violent against the man, you expect the man to just take it? No, I got shit too. But that's what's the point. See, my stuff is my stuff, and your stuff is your stuff.
And then
But
you
let
gave
me
me
ask
that.
you.
So
But let
that's
me
not,
ask you a question. That's not gonna be a fruitful conversation. How does this work out? Do you get a certain amount of months per the amount of years you involved, or what?
do you get what? Repeat that.
How does that work out? How does the math work out? You get 3 months for how long do you have to be involved with somebody before you get 3 months minimum?
Yo,
6 months.
if I'm married, if I'm not married, but if I'm in a relationship for 10 years, you're not giving me 3 months. Like you're gonna have to give me
But we're
longer
not
than that.
talking about marriage. See, I asked about
No,
marriage
I didn't mean
earlier.
marriage. I'm sorry. I didn't mean
But
to
if
say
I
that.
asked about marriage earlier because that's normal. That's how we know how to deal with stuff. But the situation you talk about, where does 3 and 6 months come from? How long of a relationship are we talking about?
I feel like for the time period that I like 3 to 5 years, 3 to 5 years, I feel like 3 months is good. Like now, if I'm with someone for 10 years, like you're gonna have to give me a year because if I dedicated my life to you for 10 years and you
Mm-hmm.
were the breadwinner and you never like a lot of times men when they have
Does
more
that
money
happen even if you leave?
if I have money and he leave,
No. If you leave the relationship, you get this payout.
it's if it's like an even kind of thing. Like if I leave, it's because I should have a plan ready, right?
No.
Like
What I'm
moving.
asking is if 80% of divorces or breakups are initiated by the women. So what I'm saying is if you leave the relationship after 5 or 10 years, do you still get paid out?
Hmm. I think it's a case by case. I think it depends. Like if he cheated on me and I left him, like you did wrong. You know what I mean? If
See,
I
what you're basically talking about is having no fault divorce for boyfriend girlfriend situation. That's what you're
I
talking
feel
about.
but
You're literally talking about palimony. All right, but my question to you, that doesn't exist in a legal framework that you can do anything about. You can talk and you can cap and you can say, I got this, I got that. But at the end of the day, the kind of men you're talking about have more money, more resources, and thereby more ways to protect themselves than you do. So you can't win that. So
well
let's
I
move that
think
to the side.
I
Let's move that to
think
the side. Why not just get married?
so am I supposed to ask him to marry me? Like if there's no marriage involved for what's the difference? That's my
Mm.
point. What's the
Let me
difference?
stop right
Marriage
there.
is the
Let me stop right there. Let me stop right there. I'll answer that question. If you want some sort of guarantees on the event of a breakup, then the only way that happens is through marriage. And that will put the accountability on you to only date men who are marriage minded. But see, that would mean you would have to be a wife first.
mm-hmm.
The way you have it set up is you can date a man who has resources. And you don't necessarily have to be a wife first in order to be found by a husband. And you still get some sort of a payout on the back end. No.
Yes,
That
because we play husband and wife. You know how this is. It's 2021. No one's
no,
really
not
getting married.
playing as
I don't
there's
mean
no playing as husband and wife. If you had a
because
guy
I
that
don't
had a
do that.
if you had a guy that had okay, I'm gonna let you go ahead and speak. Go ahead.
In real life, we out here. Men expect certain levels of commitment and loyalty and actions that come with being a wife versus being a girlfriend.
Yeah,
And
but see,
women,
but hold on, ma'am. Let me respond to that. But here's the difference, man. When the relationship is over, all that stops. So do all the benefits of that relationship.
not when you
That's what happens if
not
you're not a
not
wife.
if you was with me.
What?
I'm here to say not if you was with me. Like
Well,
period.
and see, that's the so men need to avoid dealing with women like you if they don't want to deal with this. Because due respect, we haven't even talked about it. You brought another man's child into this relationship. So this man had to be responsible for dealing with you and somewhat provisioning for a child.
Mm-hmm.
That means he's taking care of one man's responsibility, and then after y'all break up, he's taking care of another man's responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it would be simple to either not deal with women like you, or if you're going to act this way, it's not right, man. I don't want to say that other part,
Respect,
but
no, That's okay. Respectfully, every man that I have been with, while I have been with them, they have elevated during that period of time. And I'm not just saying that. So it's
Well,
like it depends on the type of woman you are and what you know what I
but
mean?
if they
How
elevated, man, why? See, they elevated because they're going to elevate anyway. Just like you said, you helped him with his business and things like that afterwards. And I asked you, the things you did, were they so critical that if you didn't do them, the business would have failed? What you're trying to
well,
basically say is you're responsible for his success. Let me ask you a very simple question. I'm gonna ask you a really simple question, okay? What you're basically saying is you owe me. You owe me for my time, my body, all these things I spent. That's what you're ultimately saying. You owe me. And what I've gotten from you isn't equal to what you owe me. How much money do you think he owes you?
I think that my bare necessities should be covered for 3 months or up to 6 months. It's different depending on your lifestyle and what somebody really brought to the table. He could have put me in a condo that was $10,000 a month, and so
So
if
you
that's what
said
you
yours
did
so these necessities are $6,000.
that I have currently have.
So I thought you said your lease was like 45 or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like.
yeah, yeah,
So
around
like, and
there.
your
Like
car it's like
it's like 15.
5,500.
Mhm.
So he owes you $36,000 roughly.
Basically.
So all right, and you've been in this law for how long?
Um, it's going on 2 years in November.
All right, and that law was $4,500. $4,500 a month
Well,
times 40. Hold
the
on,
lease was
40.
only 18 months, so
Okay, 18 months, but you've been in there for 2 months. But you've been in
for
there
two
for
years.
2 years. So it's been
hmm
18 months or 2 years.
Well, 2 years. I haven't hit 2 years yet.
Okay,
It's been
let's just give
yeah,
it
November.
18 months. 18
Yeah,
months, okay? 18 months. 18 months. That's $81,000 just in that alone. So you owe him $45,000 today. He's
it
already
ain't trick.
paid you. No, ma'am. No,
It
ma'am. He's
ain't
already paid you.
that
If he
is
owed you, oh, listen. I went with your logic. If he owes you 36 6 months, he paid that. See, that's my point. Even after it was paid, you're still entitled until you don't want to have it anymore. You're not even close to being fair. Even in your
until the lease
scenario.
until the lease term is
That's not
up.
what you no, ma'am. It was very clear. You said 3 to 6 months. So that's why
Is the pro no the 3 month that's the proper but
ma'am, there's no proper
until the
thing
lease
to do with a
is
woman
up.
like you. Ma'am, there's no proper thing to do with a woman like you because you are slick, you're fast and loose with stuff, and you're used to getting your way. You're a manipulator. That's who you are. Then you'll use words like toxic and this and that, hustle, city girl. There's no way to be even right with you. So here's the thing. I don't know what you believe in, but at 28 years old, I'm going to say something. Young lady, karma is real, whether you like it or not. And this is going to catch up to you one day. You're
But
wrong.
wait, if
Hold
he
on, ma'am. Hold
wants
on.
to
Let me just say, ma'am, this man
so
did right.
so
Listen,
I
let me say what I have to say, and I'll let you say what you have to say. I guarantee,
Mhm.
ma'am, this man did right by you in the relationship. And y'all were together. Afterwards, y'all became friends. You haven't said he did anything wrong, but you're treating him as though he is still your property and that he owes you something that you can't substantiate. You're just taking his money. Go ahead.
and I guess he likes it
Okay.
because
Okay. And that's why I said, where's your honor as
and
a
anybody
woman?
else
And why I said, where's your honor
I,
as a woman? Because that's I said, you talking about honor? And I said, where's your honor as a woman? Because even going according to you, 3 months to 6 months, ma'am, you've had this for a year and a half or 2 years. And that's not even including the car. You got a whole man living up in there talking about we put in new mattress and new TVs. This is going to catch up with you one day because you won't always be 28. 28 will turn to 30. 30 will turn to 35. 35 will turn to 40. There's no more hot girl summer, no more city girl nothing. There'll be a new model out there with a new software.
and
But
then
your
I may be
relation,
a cougar since I believe in
well,
this
here's the
world.
only way you're
I
going to be
may
a cougar is it, but ma'am, I'm not trying to be funny, but I need you to listen. Seriously.
me
Because I don't even know what your profession is. I asked you about OnlyFans transitioning to mainstream. That's going to happen quickly.
Mhm.
They always do. So, what's going to be your sustainable revenue source until the rest of your life if you can't do this kind of stuff or whatever you're doing right now? We all have to grow up.
I
We all have to take care of ourselves to where we're not relying upon, well, maybe not. Maybe not.
hopefully not.
So are you open to being in so if you were dealing with a quote unquote high value man, you would have no problem with him having options, right?
I mean, I've been in that situation, so
No,
no.
I'm asking, would you have any problems with it? Him having other women?
To an extent, no. To an extent, no. Like if
Okay.
I'm the one being taken care of,
Yeah.
and I'm the one, like
Obviously.
I
Obviously. You're primary, but he has others.
yeah, as long as he's not like spending money on them, like
Okay.
dinners and here for sex or
No,
whatever
no, he's
or
gonna have to
buy.
spend some money on her. He gotta spend some money on her. He's not spending as much money as he's spending on you, but he gotta spend money on her.
Like how much
Mm,
percentage compared
well,
to me?
Bill Gates had his girlfriend. He had to spend some money. You get a house. See, gentlemen, what I told you. Women don't care about the options like you think they do. They care about the money. I told you that women care. See, you don't want her to have a house like you. So if you have a house, she doesn't get a house, but she has to have some place for them to go do what they do.
Obviously, if I just feel like if he's a man of high value, that's just what comes with the territory of it, like they're just gonna want to do whatever they want. They're just gonna roam free. It's just how it that's just what comes with
Right,
it.
right, right, but here's
And
the
thus far
hardcore.
in this
But here's the hardcore question. You're unmarried, no children. I mean, not unmarried, and what I'm hearing is you've been kind of living this party girl life, the city girl life. If you don't secure a high value man, you may be able to play in these high value lifestyles, but once your youth and your beauty is gone, so will your ability to attract men like this. Then what?
I
That's a
could say I
reality
lived
for all
did
women,
it.
huh?
I could say I lived it when I did.
Okay, but how you going? But how are you preparing for the future? Are you going to have any money put aside, any investment?
I mean, yeah, I do that. I'm not just here
Okay,
not making no
I'm not
money and
saying you
only.
don't. I'm just asking.
Yeah, no, like Instagram is just one of the ways that I make money. You know what I mean? So I definitely
Hmm.
have like outside ways that are not even advertised on Instagram. Like that have
Do
nothing
you
to
ever
do
plan
with
on having
that.
any kind of relationship with a man that's traditional? Meaning, do you ever plan on being a wife in the future?
Of course.
Legal. I mean, what I mean by like a legal wife, state contract, everything.
Hmm.
Do you want children? Any more children in the future?
I don't know. If my man could afford to pay for my body, I'll do it. But I don't really want to.
Okay. Well, I wanted to make sure I got to talk to you because I saw a lot of stuff, and I'll just tell you flat out. You already heard. I think you're wrong. I think you know that what you're doing is unfair. But he has apparently, if what you're saying is true, he knows everything. It's all above board. He has no problem paying for it. Fair exchange is no robbery. He's free to do what he wants to do with his money. Um, but I will say that it sends a bad sign to men to hear women like you say, "Don't do nothing for me that you don't plan on maintaining for months after the relationship is over."
Necessity and contractual. Like if it's like a
You you
contract and if
you,
it's
you
a
can't do. I
necessity,
mean, ma'am, that's not how life works when you're a girlfriend or
a
a
home
boyfriend.
and a car. Like I mean a home
Okay,
especially. You know what I mean? Like
ma'am, I
period.
get what you're saying, but it's not going to work because this no different than these women who sit around and say you were in here with another woman, so we got to buy a new bed, a new house, new this, new that. Y'all act like men, like money grows on trees. And here's the reality, man. You ladies you're pricing yourself out of the market. The guys who will deal with that, who have the resource to deal with, will go get a different kind of woman, a woman who's not so uh, entitled, a woman who's far more humble, a woman who's
You'd be
definitely
surprised.
listen. No, I wouldn't be.
Some men like,
Do you think? Oh, let's be clear. Let's be clear, Ma. Do you think I don't know what I'm talking about? I'm not sitting up in a
I mean,
damn.
I've
Come
dated
on,
men with money. You know what I mean? So
and
I'm
and
not saying
I'm
you
a
don't know
man
what you're
with.
talking about.
Okay,
That
I'm not going to go there. But look, man, I know what I'm. I know men with money. I'm not. What I'm saying is, Unfortunately, they don't marry women like you. They play with women like.
Sometimes.
Okay, I hope it works
You
out
know,
for you. But
tell
here,
me, tell me the truth. Tell me the truth, Kevin. There's a lot of men that got money that they're conservative on the outside, but they love that ratchet. You know what I mean? They love a woman who has
yeah, it's
like
called an
flair.
escort. It's called a sugar baby, but you're not going to be the primary wife. You'll be on a
I'll
budget.
take sugar baby. I don't know about escort, but
Well, whatever. The bottom line is you're an employee until he gets rid of you. I get it, but the problem is once you age out, it's over. I get it. I got no problem with the sugar lifestyle and all that stuff. But once it's over, it's over. And what you're ultimately saying is it's all fair and it's cool. I like it that way because then you can't blame anybody for what happens down the line. It's all fair. You were signing up for a lifestyle to where it's kill or be killed. You know the rules of the jungle. Good. Run. But if you get caught, killed, and eaten, don't blame nothing. That's
I don't
fair.
think.
They
Yeah, I
never
don't think I
do.
would. I mean, I come from the bottom, so I mean, anything else is up.
Well, I get it, but eventually, and it's hard to go from that to having a traditional, healthy, functioning relationship because that that singular me against the world mentality doesn't tend to make healthy relationship patterns. I mean, it's exciting,
And
but
it's also hard to go from like high value men to like just
well, now
regular
you keep
people
saying high
too.
value. I'm going to say high earning.
Tradition.
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah,
High
okay.
value
Earning.
men, high earning. Well, but the problem is, it doesn't matter. You going from them to nothing, but you're not getting anything except trinkets and baubles. I mean,
Hmm.
if the guy's paying your rent and car, he's doing it.
I mean, that's
Maybe it's a tax
we can.
write off. It doesn't matter. But the point of the matter is, it's sending a bad. Enjoy it while you can, but I would say this. I get why people were saying what they were saying because not once in this thing have you sounded the least, not one. What I'm really listening for, man, like I said, I really haven't tried to be judgmental, but I'm going to make one judgment. And my gripe with you is not once during any of this conversation have you sounded the least bit great. You've been
Great. You
grateful to this man, this situation, grateful, gratitude. You sound as though
no,
you owe this to me.
no, I am grateful, but we were talking hypothetical if other situations was to occur.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking, obviously in that battle state, but I
So if
am
a
grateful.
man, so if
Go
you
ahead.
were grateful and he said, "I need to end this now," a grateful person doesn't say, "I ain't moving, I ain't doing this, I'm not doing that. You got to fight me." So you can try to weave that. It's not gonna work, man. You're not grateful. You feel like he owes you.
So where that grateful person gonna go? Not talk about me
See,
because, like I
see,
said,
see,
my ability
see. That's the
to
point. See, a
fine.
grateful person
But
doesn't. A great. See that.
but
See.
speaking for the
Thank
other
you.
women,
Thank you. No. Thank you. Thank you. Ungrateful gentlemen. Don't. Thank you. You're still worried about you. A grateful person says thank you for what it was. It's no different than if you talk about religion and the devil tried to bet God and he said the only reason Job praises you so much is because your protective edge, your hedge. You remove that hedge from it, he'll curse his maker. God removed all the blessings. And what did Job do? He said, we made it, God, the Lord give it, the Lord take it away. But bless the Lord. I'm glad for what I had. You're not sitting back saying, where do I go now? You have to be thankful for what you have. You don't sound the least bit grateful, which makes people
so
harden
you
towards, listen, man, which makes people think ill of your points, even if they try to understand where you're coming from. There's no gratitude. You still
I
owe.
have you feel as if, so if a woman was to help you build your business in whatever way, and then let's say you were making 300,000 and now you're making 500,000 in a matter of like a year and a half or two difference, right? You wouldn't offer her like a severance package?
No, because first of
Why?
all, I'll tell you why. First of all, because I'm going to be successful on my own anyway. But let's take it your way. If you want a severance package, you need to be a wife. If you want a severance package, you need to say up front, I'm doing this under under the express condition that if this relationship ends for any cause, I get a severance package. And then you let me decide whether or not I need your help.
And he should say when he gets you the car
No,
in that
ma'am.
parking
No,
lot, I
ma'am.
want
No,
this,
ma'am.
but if
Because
you
no,
bring
ma'am. No,
the
ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
inside,
But the way you put the situation is when the relationship is over, can she decide to get something else? That would be no different than a man saying, "All right, I took you. We were together, and I took you to Barcelona, Spain, such and so forth. Blah blah. I'm gonna need this back. I'm gonna need that back. I'm gonna need this back. I'm gonna need that back. It's over." No, man. See, this is why you represent modern women very well. You don't understand men. You don't know us men, and to you this seems right and fair. You start talking about things about toxic and you wanted to go into the patriarchy and all this other kind of stuff, and I'm like, who do you think you're sharing the planet with? And I'm thinking if you're raising your son to think this way, he's going to be submissive to a woman. How's he going to
no.
make anything if he's going to end up giving it all away to a woman who feels like he owes her because she decided to be a woman to him? You want to be
Well,
paid for being a girlfriend even when you're not a girlfriend. So here's what I was saying. Thank you for being respectful of my platform. Thank you for not, using colorful language. I wanted to hear you out. I wanted more people to be able to hear your thoughts. I'm going to leave this just as it stands right now. The comment section is, I can't control the comment section. I don't even go down there. It's crazy.
where do I read? How do I read it? I love it. You guys
The
are fun.
comment section will
They
be on the
all
video.
say the
The
same
comment
thing.
section, when the video is over, the comment section will be there, but you'll be able to see the chat room. But I appreciate it. And I'll ask you offline because how we connected, I'm going to actually talk to your friend too. I'll be doing more of these interviews because I think it's a good thing for the program, a platform to get different points of view out. We don't always have to agree, but I will just say this. What you're saying, ma'am, I think is in the purview of having a formal relationship and a wife. And the only issue I have is one, you don't sound grateful. Two, you said when the man, if he decided to end it, you'd fight him. That's when my red flags went up. I don't know why you want to fight somebody that's a friend or you. That's the only
Because
thing I can't square.
you're not just gonna rip stuff from under me. That's my.
Okay. Okay. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you and have a
Thank
good
you
evening.
for having me. I appreciate it.
Bye bye.
This is a banger. This woman entitlement is out of this world crazy. She is no longer in a relationship with this guy and she still wants him to pay for her apartment and her Mercedes. Crazy. And no matter how many times Kevin tried to help her with the logic, she's standing 10 toes down and saying, no, not until I am ready. And this is why men, you have to be careful of women like this. I'm sure the guy is probably a simp with actions like this because this is not normal behavior for a grown woman with this type of mentality. And he probably just doesn't want the headache of going through the problem because she's saying if he tries to get her out of the apartment and get back a car, she's going to fight. You know that she is going to make his life miserable. And you have to always be conscious when you're doing certain deals, especially when there's a lot of money involved. Make them sign a contract. Make that contract very clear. If we break up, the deal is off. Because there's nothing written or anything like that. She feels that she has all the right, even though Kevin is saying legally you have nothing. But she does not care because all she's thinking about is me giving up my car and my beautiful apartment. Crazy to me. Alright guys, continue to support Kevin Salmon's channel and I'll catch you guys in the next one.